Okay, so this question is using some prior knowledge revision from previous, and we're looking at functions. So we have the function which is f of x is equal to 3x minus 5, and that's given to us over 2. And we're first of all needing to find out what is f of 4. So you can see here, all I've done is replace x with 4. So that's exactly what we're going to do into the formula. We're going to replace x into 4. So 3 times 4 minus 5 over 2. So that gives me 12 minus 5 over 2, which is 7 over 2, or you can write that as 3.5. Then for part B, you're told to solve the equation f of x is equal to x. So on this one, all I need to do is make those things equal to each other. So f of x was 3x minus 5 over 2, and that is equal to x. And I can actually use my GDC on here because it's only going to be a linear. So algebra numerical solve, and I have a fraction there, which is 3x minus 5 divided by 2, and that is all equal to x. And I need to put comma x so that I can solve it, and I find that my answer there is that x is 5. If you can show that by hand, even better. Okay, so if you were doing that by hand, we would have 3x minus 5 is equal to 2x, where I've times by 2. Then I could subtract the 2x and add the 5, so I end up with x is equal to 5. And then for part C, if the domain of the function is between 1 and 7, what is the range? So we know that the domain is just the x values, and the range is the y values. So the easiest way to do this is going to be to graph it. So if I graph my function, the function is 3x minus 5 divided by 2. So this is what the function looks like. And the domain is between 1, so let's change this to be 1, and 7. Okay, and we can see there that the lowest value is 1 and the highest value is going to be the 7. And actually this needs to go a little bit higher here. There we go. So the lowest value is 1, the highest value is 7. So to find the range, we need to find what is the y value at 1 and what is the y value at 7. Now the reason we graph it first is in case there's a like a peak in the middle, like if it was a quadratic, in which case it's not as simple as just subbing in the two ends 1 and 7. So that's why we do the graphing first. But on this case, it is that easy. So we're needing to find what is f of 1. Let's see if I can squeeze it in here. So f of 1 is going to be 3 times 1 minus 5 over 2. So that's going to give me 3 minus 5, which is minus 2, divided by 2, which is minus 1. And then I've also need to know what f of 7 is equal to. So 3 times 7 minus 5 over 2. So that's 21 minus 5, which is 16, divided by 2, which is going to give me 8. And therefore, my range of values goes from minus 1 through to 8. And you could use the notation there of either y, or you could use the notation of f of x in the middle there. So either of those would be fine. We know that they're equal to because in the original question they were also equal to, and it should therefore be the same symbol. You could also use your calculator here, so you could do trace and you could find what the value is at 7 and so on. If I keep going to the side, then I can find that that would be 8, and I can do the same the other side. You can also do Control T. Oops. So you can also do Control T, which will bring up the table of values, and you can see there that when x is 1, it's minus 1, and when x is 7, we have 8.